Hey y'all, this is Vinyl, and in this week's episode we're going to look at my standard soft vinyl collection. So the standard size is better known to most collectors as that 8-inch scale that we come to love. There's a big selection for them in the Bullmark and Marusan toy line, so it's definitely something that a lot of collectors are out to get. They want to collect more of the figures in this size range, and it's very common, especially when it comes to reissues, that they come out for this specific size. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys the first part of this collection. We're going to go in alphabetical order from A through Z. Right now for this video, we're going to go from A to G, and then next week tune in to see the rest of my collection. I definitely have some goodies and some really cool stuff for you guys to check out. Thanks again for all the support. Make sure to watch until the end of the video. Alright y'all, let's get started with this Angurus figure. Angurus comes in so many different colorways, but the one that I have is this orange vinyl with metallic colorful paint. Has hints of blue, some type of like metallic silverish blue, that really nice lime green throughout the hands and the crown as well. Some red and gold in the mouth, and some gold details on the eyes as well. This Angurus is probably not the best, example of a super clean figure. It does have some writing at the bottom of the feet on both sides, two different colors, but it still displays really nicely. The joints are nice and solid, and it still looks really cool. I really hope to one day get a Hawaiian variant, either the one that has heavy green paint or the one that's molded in a flesh tone type of like kind of brownish color. But let me just do a quick presentation of him in all angles on this little turntable. Continuing the collection, we have Baragon. This Baragon is also a Bullmark. The paint is in decent condition. When I got him, he was pretty filthy, especially with the type of mold. It has so many different pores and little ridges, so a lot of grime and dust just accumulated throughout. I try to clean him to the best of my abilities. I might have to give him another clean, maybe try a different method to get really deep in those little holes, little pores. But yeah, this one also has some writing on the bottom of the foot. I got this guy in the Angurus for a really good price. I think I got him under $200 or about $200, so that's pretty good. If you want to get one that's in really good condition, you're probably looking at around $400 to $500. But for something like this that displays nicely, that has a couple of blemishes, it's not bad. I really love this figure, that cute little face that you come to know from Baragon. It's so cute. I was one of my favorite figures when I had the 92, and I'm glad that I got a vintage one instead. I forgot to mention that Baragon also comes in so many different variants, but the one that I'm really after is the Hawaiian variant, which has a little bit of silver on the face, a little bit of colors that are more metallic. In the vinyl itself, I believe it's a little bit of a different shade of orange. But there's so many different variations. I do want to get an original Marusan as well. It has heavy green metallic paint, but I'm really happy with this guy for now. Hopefully I can get something a little bit more rare when it comes to Baragon down the road. Okay, now I'll show you guys the whole 180. Alright, y'all. Continuing on, we have Ibra. You've probably seen Ibra in my last video. I recently picked him up. It's definitely one of those figures that grow on you as soon as you have it on hand. It's such a really interesting mold. It has so much detail, the colors, and the way that it's kind of sculpted to kind of have a little stance when you have it all set up. It looks really cool. It's nice and big, takes up a big chunk of space in a positive way in your collection. If you have a whole bunch of extra space, some negative space, this definitely fills that in. And I really like it. I really hope to find a Marusan Ibra. I believe for Bullmark, there's only this variant. There might be some subtle differences with other ones, and depending on the releases. But I really want to get some more of the Marusan ones. There's like a darker tone and a red tone. So yeah, let me show you guys a quick 180. Alright, y'all, continuing in alphabetical order, we're going to spend a good amount of time in the G's. Let's start off with Gabra. So my Gabra is actually a Bullmark Gabra. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Bullmark logo. It still has the chick mark for that transitional time period. And it does have a heavy amount of Sharpie under it with the kid's original name. I don't mind it, but I do want to upgrade this Gabra at some point. I got it for a really good deal. I think it was maybe like $230. But as you can see, the joints are super loose. That's something that's really hard when it comes to closing him. He tends to kind of fall over, and as you can see, the chest, especially with these Gabras, they normally have a lot of paint rub all over their chest. And this one is not too terrible, but you can definitely see it. The arms are a little bit better, but overall, he does have significant paint wear. I'd want to find one that's a little bit more mint. That probably cost me around $500 to find a really nice mint one. But this one displays fine. He's kind of in the back of the collection. I actually used to own an M1 and I really loved it. I really loved that M1. It was super close to the original, and the colors were just so vibrant. Of course, when you get into vintage, you're not going to find a perfect one off the top. But at the time, I really wanted to complete a lot of my standard size figures, so I ended up picking this guy up. It's still an awesome figure. It's been played with. It's done its purpose of being a toy, but hopefully I can upgrade it for something a little bit nicer down the road. All right, let's see if we can do a full 180. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting to mention that there is a couple of variants for this Gabra. There's the one that I'm mentioning with the Bullmark logo at the bottom of the foot. There's also one that has more yellow throughout the whole face and the chest. And then there's, I believe, this variant, maybe 3 or 4 variants, and they vary in the degrees of paint application, but they're all overall the same kind of color scheme. All right, guys, now we'll do the 180. All right, y'all. Moving on to Gigan. This is one of my favorite figures of all times, especially the mold. There's different variations of color, but this mold is one of my favorite when it comes to the original ones. If you haven't seen my top 5, definitely go check that out. It's in my channel. But moving on to this Gigan, I was actually after him for years. I really wanted to get an original Gigan. Like I mentioned in my favorites video, there's no Gigan reissue that comes close. I really love the deep red in the back, the metallic blue sprayed throughout this kind of I don't know how you would describe it, like this goldish, silverish pink in the belly. The variant that I really like the most has more of a gold tint to it, but it's still a super cool figure. Mine isn't in the best condition. As you can see, you got some kind of paint wear where it has these kind of spots throughout, and it's kind of typical of these Gigans. Mine does have writing on the foot, and a little bit of paint wear throughout. It's not in the best condition. I really hope one day I can upgrade it, to something a little bit nicer and cleaner. But like I was mentioning in my top 5 video, it's super hard to get into, to find a Gigan for a good price. They used to range between $200 to $300 in the early 2000s, maybe even in the early 2020s. But now they're going for almost $1,000. So I was lucky to find this guy for about 500, which seems like a lot for a figure that's kind of this damaged. But like I'm telling you guys, having it on hand, there's really no reissue that comes close. And I have a lot of mini-sized Gigans and medium-sized Gigans, so I definitely wanted to have a authentic vintage one in my collection. All right, y'all, before we move on to the whole 180, I just wanted to show you guys real fast how beautiful the Hawaiian Gigan is. I'm going to use this reference book to show you guys. Look at how beautiful those colors are from the Hawaiian Gigan. It'd be an absolute grail to have this in my collection. I only know a certain amount of people that actually have one of these in their collection, but man, this is one of the best Bullmarks to ever come out, in my opinion. I really love these colors and how vibrant they are. Alright, y'all, moving right along. We have this classic Godzilla, the one that everybody's come to love, originally released by Marusan and infamously known as the J-tail. There's actually so many different types of tail variations out there and explanations of how to tell. I'm not an expert on that, so I won't cover it here, but this is the Bullmark that I have. I used to have a reissue on this. That was after that reissue for so long, and just to find out, hey, it's not even close to having a original on hand. I still need to find a Marusan. I really want to get a nice Marusan. Hopefully in this upcoming year or this year, I'll focus more on getting those type of variants. They're a little bit more expensive, but for now, I got this guy. He doesn't have the most amount of silver paint on the chest, but I did want to get a variant that would have pink eyes, like this guy right here. So I really like these type of eyes. There's so many different variations. There's like red ones, white ones, teardrop ones, or just like a nice clean circle like these. This is the kind of eye that I really like. It does have a lot of blue metallic paint on the dorsal fin. You can't really tell too much on camera, but if you have one of these guys on hand, it's one of the things that kind of gets overlooked. You don't really know until you have one on hand. There's even some blue paint right here on the top of the head. It's kind of hard to see, but yep, it's there. Mine does have writing at the bottom of the feet. That's kind of a common theme for a lot of my standard size figures. I do like the standard size, but it's not the one that I love the most, like minis and medium sized figures. So I tend to just get whatever I can get for a good price. I do intend to upgrade them at some point. But yeah, before I do a 180, I wanted to show you guys some of the really cool variants that I really hope to own. Alright, y'all, when it comes to this Godzilla, there's so many variations. Definitely want to get one that has more silver, like this one right here in this reference book. But the one that I'm really after is a Hawaiian variant. Something like this would be beautiful. I wish you guys could see the front part of it, but as you guys can see, it comes in this flesh colored vinyl with this blue metallic paint throughout, and it's super awesome. I wish I had one on hand to show you guys. I don't know a lot of people that actually own one of these guys. There's also another Hawaiian variant that is more greenish in tone throughout the body and stuff. But yeah, there's so many variants out there. There's people that have like 20 of these, and they probably don't even have every single variant. I might be exaggerating, but between the Marusans and the Bullmarks, it's crazy how many people, how much people have all the different variations and all the different minute things that make a difference in the mold. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to show you guys a quick 180. Alright, y'all. This is not really considered a standard size figure, but I wanted to add them in here. They're normally about 8 inches tall, but this specific fire breathing uh, Godzilla is actually more like 7 inches, 7.5 inches. It's slightly smaller, but I did want to add them in here. I think he fits really nicely with the rest of them. And if you saw my top 5 favorite kaijus in my collection, this is actually my favorite one. As you guys could tell, it's the what is it called? The mascot of this channel. That cute little dopey face that he has. But yeah, I won't talk more about him. He's super awesome. If you guys don't have one, definitely try to find one. They range between 500 to maybe 800 bucks. If you're lucky, you may be able to find it for even less, like I did. I found this guy for 350. Really awesome piece. All right, y'all. Let me show you guys a quick spin. All right, y'all. These are going to be the last 2 figures for this first part. You guys seen them before. I recently had them in my pickups video, and I also posted them on my Instagram. Still an awesome piece. Both of these guys are super cool on their own. Sorry about the lighting. It seems like the sun doesn't want to cooperate with me at this time of the day. I do prefer natural lighting, so bear with me. Trust me when I tell you that the paint on this guy, specifically the Marusan one, is so beautiful. I really love it. And you can see an up close, more detailed look in my previous video for the pickups video. But let me just quickly show you guys the Gorosaurus right here. This is a Bullmark. You can see all the differences in my other video. I go more in depth, so I'd highly encourage you guys to check that out. Before I cut into the quick 180, just wanted to show you guys what a Marusan Gorosaurus looks like. It's more of this like aquamarine green with that tan kind of like yellow belly. It's a really awesome piece. It's super hard to find and expensive. I would probably think it's maybe about $800 to $1,000 in great condition. But there's also this beautiful Bullmark Hawaiian variant. I don't even know what something like this would go for. I would imagine maybe close to like $2K if it's in awesome condition. But look at the beautiful colors. It's like this purplish kind of blue color with the red belly and a metallic blue going down the center and a red mouth. This is a super sick variant. I hope to own both of these at some point in my life, but I know that they're super rare and hard to find. This guy right here looks like the one that I have right there, my Bullmark one. But yeah, there's so many variants. I highly suggest you guys go to Club Tokyo to check them out. All the different variants for these figures. Alright, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember that next week I'm going to show the rest of my collection. There's definitely more goodies to come. And I'm also going to show a little bit of bonus material of what's next for my collecting journey. And I hope you guys stay tuned. Thanks again for all the support. Thank you to everyone that takes the time to comment, that takes the time to like my videos. We're getting really close to getting to 200 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, I definitely encourage you to subscribe to show some love to this community and continue to grow a channel like this that focuses on specifically vintage vinyl. I know there's other channels that cover all different types of collecting, but there's not a lot of representation when it comes to vintage vinyl. So I definitely appreciate everybody that's already tuned in, that's been locked in, and has been helping grow this channel one subscriber at a time. Also, I want to take this time to say that my heart goes out to all the people that are being affected right now in LA. I know I have a lot of fellow collectors that are out there, a lot of fellow collectors that are also Hispanic like me, Latino, and you know, we're all going through it right now. I want to just put a little bit of love out there through my platform, whoever it could reach, and just to let people know that, you know, instead of focusing on things that are different about us and everything that, you know, divides us, let's focus on things that bring us together as a community. We're all hardworking people, and I think we all want to chase that American dream. So I appreciate everybody that's been subscribing and showing love. Let's continue to have that positivity throughout this really tough year. And like my homie Max Toys was saying, you know, toys are fun and everything, but really the people behind the toys, the people that collect, those are the things that, you know, really matter. So let's show some love in our community. And thank you once again. Definitely stay tuned for next week. This is Vinyl Vinyl.